This is the North Arm Knives Skaha 2. I'm wishing right about now that this were my knife, but it's not. This is Jock's from Jock's Knives. He's a great follow on Instagram. Check out Jock on Instagram. He's a patron of the Knife Junkie podcast and just a good buddy and friend of the show. And he has been buying knives and then sending them to me, and then I get to hang out with them. No rush, he says, but I try to get them out as quickly as possible. But then I send them to him over there in Europe. So we both benefit. I get some great content here. I think it's probably easier for him to receive a private package than to be sent well, maybe not. I was going to say than to be sent from a knife maker. I don't know if customs is weird or something like that. But anyway, it's a nice little arrangement we have, and he's a great guy. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate his allowing me to check this knife out, because I gotta say, it is extremely impressive. North Arm, at least as of 2 years ago when I watched a video on them, father and son team up in Canada making primarily kitchen knives, and then they took a venture into everyday carry modern folders a couple of years back with the Skaha. Came out to like very high critical acclaim from Nick Shabazz and other trusted voices in the knife world. People just went bonkers over this knife, and I had to say, I have to be honest, at the time I didn't see it. You know, I just thought it was kind of a plain old knife, and I love that it's great, and I love that this company, this father and son team are making it, and it's just not for me. You know, I like things that have a little more growl to them, say. At least I did at that time. Now, I think through doing the podcast, my tastes have become more varied and more refined, and now this knife is very appealing to me. So anyway, having it in hand has made all the difference, and there have been some obviously there must have been some changes in this from the Skaha one. Personally, I don't actually know what they are. I don't see them just from a casual glance. I think something with the sharpening, the choil area, and perhaps some internals. I don't know. But look at this. No liner on the show side, just beautifully contoured G10. So nice. It feels so good in hand. And then when you look at it from this aspect, you see that it's Coke bottled. So it tapers to a wide point here, or yeah, it expands to a wide point here for your palm, tapers into a waist here, and then opens back up. So it's got a sort of flare there. It's really nice. Man, it feels so good in hand. But the real, and then the blade, okay, the blade is nice and thin, beautifully ground. I mean, it's like perfectly ground. You examine it, or I examined it, it's perfectly ground and wickedly sharp. Nice sort of stone-washed luster to the blade, and then the action. The action is just incredible. It is the smoothest knife. I am saying this now. I'm gonna say this without any hesitation. This is the smoothest knife I've experienced, and I'm defining smooth in the moment as fall shut. You know, my Sebenza is ultra smooth, but it doesn't fall shut. I'm talking about fall shut action. This is, you know, it swings back and forth, even with the tension of the lock bar on it. It is extremely smooth, even smoother than the Koenig Arius that I flipped this year at Blade Show, that had been flipped 8 billion times by 1,000 people walking through there that day. It's even smoother than that. It's incredible. I don't know exactly why it should be so much smoother than other things, but it is. So very impressive knife, and that is sort of feeling it, getting it in hand. I've cut just paper with it, but it's, you know, extremely sharp. So getting it in hand and experiencing this knife has made this knife look beautiful to me. I thought the first one was, not a dog by any stretch, but just sort of a very plain and just not interesting to me. But having this in hand makes all the difference. It's kind of like meeting someone, say a girl or whatever maybe you're a girl and you meet a guy, whatever it is, and they're not the most attractive person you've seen, but then you get to know them and they make you laugh and they make you think and they're interesting and they can cook well and all that. Oh my God, they might become beautiful in your eyes. That has happened to me in the past. I am a lucky man that my wife, that wasn't an issue. It was everything all at once, which is nice for me. But in any case, this is a face that you can grow to love. I guess is what I mean. Oh, that sounds awful. And that's not to, impugn the taste of anyone who liked the Skaha, the original one. But I gotta say, just to me, this thing is just amazing. All right, I don't know if I have anything useful to say right now, because I'm actually discovering while doing this video that I like this knife even more than I've liked it just before. Another knife that was very similar to that in how I grew to love it was the TRM Atom. This one is DLC, kind of a rarer bird. Also a factory second because of a couple of blemishes, because of that in the DLC, and there's another one somewhere. But just ridiculously sharp. That's what those two dots are. Ridiculously sharp, and kind of in a similar, I don't know. I think they sort of became popular at the same time, if not came out onto the market at the same time. They came into my consciousness at the same time, and they sort of were the same sort of thing. Like, boy, if I didn't have a thing for really robust knives, I would feel compelled to get this. And by really robust, I mean, classically overbuilt. These are not. These are incredible cutting tools. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't pry open a door with it like I would maybe a cold steel. Okay, next, this is another one that kind of falls into the same sort of category. American Blade Works. Again, this is a one-man team, plus his family who help him with marketing type stuff. But American Blade Works, this is all done in a garage. It's amazing. But similarly plain, similarly useful, and by plain I mean simple in terms of lines, and simple is good, especially when simple is good, and in these cases they are. The level of smoothness they achieved here, unreal. I mean, this is the version 5 of this. The version 6 is ultra smooth, ultra fall shut. This is a version 5. And the blasted blade has always made the bearing race just a little gritty or something. So anyway, when I did that, it really pushed forward how crazy smooth this is. All right. Okay, let me show you with a couple of other knives for size comparison. Here's the RSK Mark I, 3-inch blade. Here, I'm gonna put it like this so it doesn't keep flopping over. Here's a 3-inch, just under 3-inch blade. Here it is with the Paramilitary 2. Similar, very similar. Of course, the Paramilitary 2 is long in the handle, but about the same, very similar anyway. And then lastly, but not leastly, the old, or I should say the new-ish Demco 80 20.5. Why did I pull this out? I think this might be a new size comparison standard. I think a lot of people have these. So anyway, here it is. Thank you for watching this halting and awkward video. I'm not sure why the words aren't coming easily to me. I think I see a little staining on the blade there. S35 VN. Oh, before I close out this video, I want to show you how it came. It came in this nice little box with this on a bed of hay. It was in a plastic bag. I'll put it back in the plastic bag, but it was a little bed of hay. Michael and John Gudmundson. All right. high-grade knives designed and made in British Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful British Columbia. This also came in it, which I found incredibly charming. To me, this seems like a paper that a company that primarily makes kitchen knives puts in with their folders. Congratulations on owning a Skaha 2 folding knife. The Skaha is a modern folding knife that opens one-handed with the aid of a flipper tab. The Skaha is a light yet sturdy knife ideally suited to everyday carry. I love it, and I just think it's cool. Because there might be some guy out there who, maybe in British Columbia, who has been using this for the last 30 years, and he's finally sharpened it down to a nub, and he's going to get something new. And well, this looks different, you know. So I like this. I like this. How to use it, you know, closing it, how to open it, all that. So very cool. Skaha 2 by North Arm Knives. Jock, thank you. And gents, Gudmundsons, you building an awesome, awesome knife. Nicely done.